Good morning. No. No, it's right there. Everyone's mic's all okay? Can you hear me? Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning. I am Cyndi Munson, and today I'm announcing my campaign for governor of the great state of Oklahoma. When I started working, thanks, Dad. I started working in the nonprofit sector because I wanted to help people. It's also what inspired me to first run for office over a decade ago, to be a voice for people who needed it most. I grew up in Lawton, Oklahoma, the daughter of a single dad serving in the United States Army. He had to work multiple jobs to make ends meet. We moved 10 times growing up, chasing cheaper rent. Even though we didn't have a lot, my sister and I had a loving dad who was always there on the front row cheering us on. And as you saw, he's here today. I not only had my dad, but my teachers, my counselors, and a whole lot of people across our community who were there for me and encouraged me. When I attended the University of Central Oklahoma, I was able to afford it because of Oklahoma's promise. And I became the first in my family to graduate from college. And I'm here today because Oklahoma and its leaders invested in me. And I want Oklahoma to be a state that continues to invest in its people and help all those other little Cindys out there who are working towards their dreams. I know I'm not what you would call a typical candidate for governor. I work for a living. I pay my student loans. I rent my house. And I know what it is like to live within a budget. I feel the pressure of rising costs of our daily necessities. I don't come from a wealthy family. I'm not beholden to any political party. I'm not an extremist. I have a proven track record of working across the aisle to get things done and won't pander to Washington, D.C. politicians who only want to continue deepening our political divide. And as your next governor, I will fight for the things that will help everyday Oklahomans. We need to fund our public schools to the regional average and increase pay for teachers and support staff. We have to find tax relief for working families and the middle class, not just billionaires in the top 1%. I led the bipartisan effort to repeal the state sales tax on groceries, and I will continue to find ways to help everyday people. Oklahoma has one of the strictest abortion bans in the country that continually puts Oklahoma's women's lives at risk because they cannot afford the health care they need. I will put a repeal of the abortion ban to a vote of the people because Oklahoma's families should make their own health care decisions with their doctors, not their state government. I will be a governor that finds common sense solutions to Oklahoma's challenges. I will put an end to the extremist rhetoric that keeps our government from doing their job, which is to help everyday people. These are just a few of the things I will work on as governor. I'm going to spend the next year and a half traveling our beautiful state, listening to people and asking them what's important to them. I want to know what they love about Oklahoma and what they think we can do better, because that is what this campaign is about, the people of our great state. And that is what I will carry with me as your next governor. Yeah. Take a couple questions.
We have time for a few questions.
If any.
Oklahoma is notoriously red state. How do you chip away at some of those votes?
Yeah, well, obviously with my campaign, I was the first Democrat to flip my seat from Republican to Democrat. And the reason and the way that I did that was by taking time and talking to people regardless of their political affiliation. And that's what I plan to do as governor. I will, like I said, I'm going to travel across the state. I'm going to listen to every single person. It doesn't matter who they voted for or who they voted for in the past. What's most important is solving today's challenges, and I'll do that by listening to them. Rural Oklahoma and urban Oklahoma are equally important. We certainly have an issue when it comes to voter turnout, but I'm hoping that my campaign, being a young woman, being someone who has had to overcome so much and was able to get to where I am today, I hope will energize people and see that they can find hope in their state government, most importantly, find hope in their leaders.
Would you
describe yourself more on the liberal side or on the centrist side? And do you feel like that trends in Oklahoma politics would mean that both parties should be moving back towards the middle or towards one side or the other?
I have always spent my time listening to what people are talking about and the issues that are most important to them. And every day that I've come to the state capitol, the 10 years I've been state representative, it's been about the issues, not about party affiliation or political ideology. And that's what I think people have seen in me. I think that's what they'll continue to see in me, and see me as a candidate for governor.
Former House Majority Leader John Nichols announced his candidacy for Attorney General. He's the only one in the race right now, and it's still a little bit of ways away. But assuming that he assumes that position, your thoughts on working with him, working across the aisle more generally, and navigating the enforcement of some of the Trump policies that are going on?
Yeah, there's no doubt that, should I win this race, I'm going to have to continue to work with Republicans, but that won't be anything new for me specifically. Even now, as a Democratic leader, I have to work across the aisle with the Republican supermajority to get things done. But it's also my job to stand up against the more extreme policies. And so my hope is that if I become governor, we'll find ways to partner and find some balance and work on solutions that actually help everyday people and not get caught up on that partisan rhetoric and ideas that come from Washington, D.C., and instead focus on Oklahomans. Yes, I will continue to be the Democratic leader in the House. My term doesn't end until November of 2026, so I'll continue to stay in this position, yes. Okay.
Family's going to come up there if anyone wants to get a few shots of them. You guys want to go up there and just stand with her for a few minutes?
The cutest one is the one in the blue glasses. He's the winning. Huh, buddy? This is my nephew, Jude.
That's my grandson.
This is my sister, Sandra, my dad, Dennis, and my brother-in-law, Boston.
Is it possible for you to kind of scoot
Yeah,
over
so we
there?
can,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Here, do you want to move on this side?
No, I'm good back here.
Hi, are you cheesing?
Is he cheesing? He loves to do that usually.
Yeah.
He likes the argue.
This is exciting.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. And then let me get one of you and Dad.
You want to become a staffer?
One, two, three. Ooh, that's good. Sorry.
Do you want to have one
Yeah,
too?
will you take one, Boston and Jude? Yeah.
You want to read my speech?
Well, I don't want this to be really bad.
I think he's already a staffer.
Okay, meet Boston. I was her first fan. Always. Before.